I'm Real Genetic Demon, and this is What's on the Tape, Season 4, Volume 8. We're getting through them now, aren't they? Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to try and find what pearls or amazing gems may be hidden on these ZX Spectrum tapes of old. So we've got a couple to start with. We have this one here, which is a Boots C15, and we've got on here possibly Hunchback. These are real mystery ones. These ones possibly Hunchback, and another one which has been tip-X'd over, so we don't know what's. I haven't really got the nails for it, to be honest with you, because I tried to scrape that off there. Tip-X'd over, but we don't know what's on that one, so we're looking forward to that one. Hunchback we played before. That was an ocean game. It had a lovely cover. If you remember, I'll pop it on the screen because it's really quite cool. So it's just the artwork was very, very nice. Didn't think much of the game, but the artwork was good. So we got Hunchback. And over here, we have, to compete with the Boots, we have WH Smith's, a mighty WH Smith's tape. It does actually have some information written on the front here. We actually have, it says Barbarian 1 and 2. Now, this could be the Psygnosis Barbarian, because I believe that one had different levels. We're not talking about, like, the Palace. Is it Palace Software? I think it was Palace Software. Correct me in the comments below. I'm sure it's Palace Software. Palace Software, they did a version which is absolutely stunning, which was like a 1-on-1 beat 'em up officially, and then there was a version 2. But it's still got part 1 and 2 written on it, tape 22. Don't know whether that's there or not, so we'll give that a try. And we've always got a reserve, and the reserve today is a Your Sinclair Megatape 5 with Brat Attack by Colin Swinburne. Now, he is responsible for the Joe Blade series, which are very good, and Hot Shots, or Hot Shot. Quite like Hot Shot. It's one of these kind of games that you either love it or hate it, but I used to quite like it, and I actually have the full version somewhere, so I may try that and put that on my channel at some point. But anyway, so without further ado though, we're going to go with this one in the drive and give it a try. Hi, right, okay, we're back, tapes in the drive, and we are ready to go. Okay, so we'll go with the usual, basic, and we'll go with load dit, or load speech mark. We'll give that a whirl, here we go. And we've got Hunchback here first. Now, one thing I always found about Ocean games is, some were good and some were bad. There were some absolutely brilliant games out there by Ocean, but there were some really bad ones as well. And I often felt that it was pretty hit and miss. We're already doing the rewind, by the way. Pretty hit and miss, but they always went with the beautiful graphics or beautiful art on the covers, which was one of the draws for them. I always liked the art, not necessarily the games. So here we go. No, that's not very good. So maybe why Hunchback's crossed out on the front of it. But Hunchback's one of those games which is where the art, I think, certainly is an improvement over the game itself. No, it's not. We're not going to play already, are we? We're just going to give it a little fast forward here and see whether or not we get this to work. This is typical, isn't it? No, let's get a quick fast forward, sort of loosen it up a bit. You know, it's probably been sat there for years and years and years and years without it being sort of rewound and fast forwarded. So we'll get back. Tape drive's nice and clean. Thanks to Daryl for that. He sent me a few tape clean things, and they have made a massive difference actually to quite a lot of tapes that I've loaded recently. Ones that previously weren't loaders are now loaders, which is fantastic from my point of view. But it doesn't really help necessarily with these ones. Oh, there we go. A little bit fast forward, you see. I'm learning a few tricks here. Oh, but we got an R-tape error. Wonderful. But I'm learning a few little tricks here about these things, you know, that sort of loosening them off by sort of fast forward them a little bit does actually have a bearing on whether or not they work. Give it another try, and if that doesn't work, we'll head to the trusty PlayZX. One more try, see if you work. There we go. That's better. A little bit, as I say, it just seems that they need to kind of loosen off. I often wonder whether or not, you know, if they've been stored, say, in some kind of attic or whatever else it is. I mean, not exactly, and even in a box, it's just questionable whether this actually came in a box. It's probably been put in a case, so to say. I've certainly put it in a case. But I wonder about what gets in there, and attics aren't particularly the nicest places to keep them. They're moist and they're dirty and they're full of dust and everything. Yeah. And then they're sort of, depending on the time of the year, can be quite warm as well and sticky and nasty. So yeah, it's not one of my favourite. This is the version. This is the first one. This is Hunchback 1. Hunchback 2 has a wonderful loading screen. The loading screen matches the cover, whereas this one they just didn't even bother. It obviously sold well enough that they could actually sell it again. I just don't. Was it an arcade game? In the comments below, because I can't remember it as an arcade game. But that doesn't mean it wasn't. I mean, my sort of exposure to arcade games was limited to the arcades that I saw along the coast where I live, which was tiny, and they're still there, but they're tiny. If you had half a dozen machines, you'd done well. And that of a place called Wicksteed's Park in Kettering, and they had quite a good big arcade back in the day, back in the 80s and 90s. But that was my only real exposure to sort of arcade machines or arcade places. There was one in my local city, which is now closed, sadly. I think it's actually a carpet shop, I think now. Just bizarre things, but yeah, I don't know. I have a real nostalgia for them, but the problem was they were just seen as sort of kind of, I don't know, places where people went and played fruit machines in the end, and that's what they became. You now find that those arcades in general, if they still exist, have been replaced by that. I mean, we used to go to service stations and play. I mean, do you remember going to service stations and playing things like Hang On with the full bike and everything, and Enduro Racer and things like that? Those were good days. Those were heady days of where you could sell a machine to do something, with all of the add-ons. I mean, those things would not have been cheap. So that tells you something about the revenue that was generated by them. I mean, I saw recently, I can't remember who it was, YouTuber, Joe somebody, or The Last Gamer, that's the fella. He's picked himself up some Sega thing, and apparently this Sega racing Formula 1 game was when bought with the 4-car pods, because they're like Formula 1 cars, 4-car pods was $1 million. Now, I'm guessing that's Australian dollars, so that's what, about, I don't know, £250 English money? No, I'm kidding. It's a bit more than that, but either way, but even at that kind of price, then return on that machine must have been phenomenal. I recently purchased. Because modern consoles, the one that I really would shout about. I don't shout about Xboxes, I don't shout about PlayStation 4s. I just shout about my Nintendo Switch. I think the Nintendo Switch is actually really good, aimed at the console and collector and retro collector, because it's that kind of game. But it had the Sega, and I don't like doing this if it's not physical, but I did download it because it was like only £3, and I bought Virtual Racer. Now, I used to play Virtual Racer, and it was another place that I used to play it in. I used to play Virtual Racer, and Virtual Racer, which is a 3D game, you can get it for the Mega Drive, and it was an arcade game, and that came with full cockpits and sort of, a gear stick and all that kind of stuff. That must have raked in loads of money, because it was always packed. You had to queue to get onto it in my hometown. They must have made a lot of money, and that couldn't have been cheap. I really couldn't. I mean, I guess people leased them or rented them, but for a small return on the revenue. But somebody had to pay for them up to front at some point. Somebody had to pay for them. That's the point. Anyway, press the key. Okay, I'm going to go with 1 for keyboard. So what we've got to do is we're trying to get to Esmeralda. This is... Oh god, right, okay, not find the jump. It's just a jump, it's left and right and jump, I think. That's all it is. I don't think you climb. I've got to find the jump, can't find the jump yet. Somebody asked me the other day in the comments, why didn't you just use a joystick? Well, unless they've got Sinclair's default, and do you know Sinclair joysticks are a pain in the behind. It's sometimes easier to dig for the keys than it is to actually
plug in an interface, because I'm a +2A. My Kempston interface looks like, well, I've had to take it apart really. It's to get it to work. It had to be taken completely apart. What is the jump key? Come on. What's the jump? It's got to be here somewhere. Where's jump? Where's jump? I've not found it. Right, okay. Just stay. You stay there for a second. I think I can see it on my shelf. I think I can. Yes, I can. I can see it on the shelf. I'm going to grab it off the shelf and find the instructions. Right. I'm just up here on the shelf looking at it. Oh, I do love the cover. It's just a shame the game isn't like the cover. If only the game was like the cover. I mean, not that it would ever be like the cover, but if it was like the cover, it would be brilliant. So, yeah, Hunchback. It's Hunchback of. He's a Hunchback of Notre Dame, which is a church that was on the news recently because it had a terrible fire, didn't it? It was a very old, sort of church. Q8 symbol shift to jump. Every key on the keyboard bar symbol shift. So QW. And symbol shift to jump. Right, that's all I need. Right, yeah, and it's Quasimodo is trying to rescue imprisoned Esmeralda from a castle stronghold. So that's basically it. I think it's one of those things. You won't have seen this for years, and nobody will discuss Hunchback of Donkey's years. It's probably politically incorrect nowadays, but anyway. Right, keyboard. So let's go for it. Let's see if we can get there. Yes. Oh. Typical. See, there's also a little man climbing up the ramparts there. And I'm kind of the little dot on the bottom of the map. That's where I'm at, which rampart I'm at. Because these are like crazy ramparts. Oh, I was trying to be clever there. There was also another game that was very similar to this. It was Punchy. Must have been a lot of games that were all about just jumping across the level, really. I just been thinking about it. There we go. Got it. So now we've got a little swingy section. Now this is really awkward because you see where the little... There, that's about as far as you can technically get without falling off. Yeah, see there? I fell off because it's pixel perfect. One of those things. Let's go for it. We'll see if we can get past that level. I can't get very far in this. I've never been very good at it. There we go. Got the bell. Right, so we now have to wait for this. It swings. I should have gone when it was swinging. Oh, I fell off. Now you just got to get the time that jump perfectly, and it's just not fun. No, dead. Dropped too far. Timing the jump is just part of the big problem of it. Now, is that swinging still the same way? Yeah, that's naughty of it. So now I have to wait for it to come back. I must have missed it there. Just too low to get onto it. Isn't that horrible? What a horrible level. I mean, there's the wonderful cover, and then you'd be left with it. And you're left with this. It's not a game that shines in my mind. I notice you don't get any points other than the super bonus for each level. I fell off. Horrible, horrible section. That little bit of wall there is just really badly placed to give it the three-dimensional look of the rampart, and it just looks. There we go. And then we just missed it. It's pixel perfect timing, and I hate pixel perfect timing. It's horrible. Naff. That's it. We've got it, and I'm on to the next level. Now this one is pixel perfect timing. Oh, I fell off the stupid rampart. Ah! Oh, I hate this game. God, it's horrible. Well, I hate this game. I love all games. I love them all, even the bad ones. Well, no, I don't like some of the modern day bad ones, but I do like these old retro ones, or sort of old Spectrum ones. They're even this one, I will put up with it, and I will even reload it on occasions. So I don't hate that much. I'm kind of. It's a bit of an exaggeration to say I hate it. I just find it frustrating. That's the word. The word I'm looking for is frustrating. It's a frustratingly tough game. Not impossible. Oh, you've got to be kidding. I definitely landed on the stupid ladder then. Or rope then. I mean, you don't even need... Seriously, you don't even need the fire in the pit below because I'm just so naff. There we go. Ah, missed it. Timed it wrong. Timed it wrong. Do we do one more? Yeah, because it takes seconds. Let's do one more. So naff. So frustrating. Do you know why? Do you know also though what's making it good? Is I keep coming back and trying it again because I think I can do it. Because it's the level is pitched correctly, where basically it's so hard, but it's also very doable. You go, yeah, I could do that. I could definitely do that. And that, it's not my favourite game, but it's a sign of a game that probably would have kept people's attention. Oh, how wrong I am about this game. Yo, I just done it. You get better with practice. Better and better with practice. And we've done it. I'm over to the next bit. Now we've got guys with pokey bits trying to poke me in my hunchbacky bits. There we go. Okay. Oh! I know there's some timing involved in this. I'm just not doing it. There we go. Anyway, so we're going to see 4 levels of Hunchback. 1983. Not bad. It wasn't that bad, actually. I'll take it back. It's not that bad. I mean, the cover does makes me feel like it should be more than it is. I'd like to see a remake of Hunchback, but with a different approach. How about Quasimodo entering the you see, this is where I need to learn how to work. What is it? That advanced game designer from Jonathan Caldwell. I need to learn how to work that, actually, to be honest with you, because you could do a new version of it where Quasimodo is sort of storming the castle almost, working his way up the ramparts with a much better graphic for both of them, more like the cover akin to that. That'd be kind of cool. I quite like that. Anyway, right, okay, let's reset this and see whether there's anything else past that on the tape. We'll go give it a little load dip. I don't know if there will be, but we'll give it a try, see if there's anything there. Okay. Might not be. You never know. So that's one to the Boots tape. That's a good start. We've had some luck actually with Boots tapes in the past. We have, and WH Smiths. In fairness, WH Smiths. We've had a few. We've had some good luck with getting these things to work. There's nothing there. No top 40s. We haven't had a top 40 in ages, actually, have we? Last thing we had was that lounge singer. Yeah, that lounge singer was singing along to whatever it was. That was a good one, actually. That lounge singer. No, definitely nothing on that side. Right, so let's rewind it and see what's on side B. Now, what do we have? We had some surprises last week, didn't we? We had something we didn't have. Now, in the comments below, I felt really stupid after that done it. There was something called Sababi or whatever it was. I can't remember exactly what it was. But basically, when you reversed the letters, it was baddies, and it was really good. It was like a 16K game from Houston Consultants, one of the two anyway. It was a really good game. Well, that sounds bad. Oh, that sounds really bad. Doesn't sound like there's anything on there. Thus far, it's like... Oh, hang on. I've never know. That's definitely copied off another copy, though. Trans Am! Oh, well, Trans Am. Trans Am is a ultimate game. It's been I've got a copy somewhere as well. I'll see if I can remember to put a picture of the screen on, because that was quite good. Trans Am back in the day. It's a game where it's post-apocalyptic Earth, and it's some kind of cross-country race where you drive a Trans Am. And you drive around the country collecting fuel and cups, which are the kind of scoring facility within it. And it's really quite good. It's quite a good game, this one. It's not a bad little game. And in fact, an ultimate game. It's just it's reasonable quality. They were very good at. I think before they started on the isometric games, which they apparently finished before other things, and weren't sure that we would handle them. Well, you imagine that. You actually develop a new design for a game and weren't sure whether or not the population was ready for it. Wow. Anyway, but they were very good at creating, early on certainly, what I would call quality arcade games. And later on they made quality adventure games, things with multiple levels and whatever else it was. I'm not sure whether this was a 48k or just a 16k game. It could have been just a 16k game, but I'm not entirely sure. I think I've got it on the shelf, not too far away from Hunchback actually. I'm just going to look on the shelf. Hang on a second. Right, just having a look. Yeah. This is actually a 16k game, so you've got, these are the ones that almost impressed me because of the fact that they use so use so little memory in the long run. That they're quite they're impressive for that very nature. Right, I would get one off the shelf, but we had some last time we did this. We didn't have so much fun with them off the shelf, but what we'll do is we'll grab one. No, we'll grab one off the shelf. And we'll give a load from one off the shelf, so we'll do that. So wait a second, I'll just reset the old Spectrum. And we'll grab one off the shelf. That's a lovely one. That's a lovely looking tape. The tapes are beautiful, actually. If I remember, or if I get a chance, I'll put the cover on there as well. And I'll also put the cassette, because the cassette's they were really nice about the way that they did they weren't just like the text and loaded it or whatever else it was. It's like Ultimate Play the Game, and they really went to town with the quality of their products. That's probably why they're still, the company itself is still alive today. The fact that it's rare is amazing that it's still around. I mean, that's the thing. I think if you built your reputation in the 80s, 70s and 80s, it was actually possible to still be here. Even in the 2019s of the world, the late. So, I think it's possible to be here. I think that if you did a good job and you were a good developer and you moved with the times appropriately, then you were right. You did the right job. I mean, Rare, they moved on to they stopped being Ultimate. They play the game. They moved on to being Rare, and they started doing games for the Nintendo Entertainment System, followed by the Super Nintendo. I think they went right through the Nintendo range. They then were sort of eaten by. Did they sell themselves to Microsoft, or were they eaten by Microsoft? One of the two. And they did sort of the number of things there. They've done the Rare Replay on the Xbox One, which is, I think, is that exclusive to it? I think it is. Which is basically includes some of their very old Spectrum games as well. Actually, it's quite nice to see those things being resurrected for a younger generation, and Banjo-Kazooie and all this kind of stuff. Was it Banjo-Kazooie they did? I feel like it was. If I'm wrong, put it in the comments below. But basically their catalogue of games is just humongous, and they did a good job. And to be fair, I'd like to see where they're going to now, because they seem to be quite quiet. They've had a very what I would call prolific career. They've been there, they've done that, they've been involved, and they've done lots and lots of things for a very long time. They do seem to have slowed slightly, if that makes sense. They don't seem to be there. I mean, maybe they're just maybe this is a bit like Valve. Valve obviously they created Half-Life and a number of other games which are very well, and Counter-Strike, and very, very well accepted, and they were brilliant, but it's been a very long time since then. very long time. I mean, when was Half-Life? Was that the 90s, the end of the 90s? It's got to have been 20 years now since Half-Life, came out, and then expansions for a little bit. It's been a long, long time. So Valve doesn't need to do anything. They've got Steam, and they've worked themselves out, and they are the leader for digital distribution worldwide. Without a doubt, there's nobody close to them. You can't include consoles in this, because even if you've got 100 million consoles, as Sony came out recently and said that they actually had 100 million consoles. The thing about it is, there's 100 million consoles. Yes, digital download to 100 million things. How many PCs are there in comparison? How many Macs? It's kind of, yeah. It's a bit like the I don't know. It's a bit like selling Apple phones and versus Android phones and this kind of thing. It's just huge numbers. Anyway, right, okay. I actually have the inlay here. Hurrah! And because I got the inlay, I'm going to find the controls out before we start. So let me get the controls. We have. Let's see if we can go. Right, we got those ones. Break A. So right, Q. That's it. Right. So I've got the controls. Let's play the game. Let's go for it. So 3 to start. So here's our little car. With a little dot in the middle of the American map. Each of the big dots is a city or a petrol pump. So this is Wichita. We can accelerate really fast. Now there's other bandits out here trying to get us. This is one there. And the little bums get you really easily. And we can overrate our engine because we can go faster than them. That's our super speed. So you can go 400 miles per hour. 400 miles per hour. You don't overheat the engine if you're less than that. But if you are at 400 miles per hour, you do overheat the engine. Now, I can see something here. Is this something I need to collect? Is this a cup? Yes, it is. First cup. Oh. I really like this because you spend a lot of time just driving around, being chased by these sort of computer cars. I don't know if there's a win for this. I think there's 9 cups, and then does it restart or does something anyway? So it's kind of annoying. Yeah, look at him chasing me. I tried to rewrite this actually on the PC years ago. I used something called Dark Basic, which is a very easy basic program. It kind of did a lot of the stuff for you. And to be fair, I should have tried something else because it was all right, but it wasn't brilliant. It wasn't what I wanted to use. It wasn't the right thing for me. Let's get some more fuel. Let's go full tilt. I can outrun them when I'm going full tilt. So we've got our supercar. Oh, look, we're bouncing off the edge of the map. Or the edge of off the water, I guess. Alright, okay, we're going for it. Okay. Let's see if we can find another cup. There's just computer cars. There's a cup! Oh! Right. I always like the graphics though. I thought they were really good. And do you know what? The maneuverability and the speed of this is really good. It works really well. Now the clever bit about this is to give you the feeling of speed. They use those little dots on the ground, and the dots are what's actually happening here is the car in the middle isn't moving; it's rotating, and the dots themselves they're the thing that's moving. So the background's moving, not the car. Isn't that clever? But because of the way they move, you get the feeling of speed, which is brilliant. I mean, seriously, that's some really serious. I mean, these are all days of learning how to do this kind of stuff. And somebody went, yeah, if we make this move if we make the dots move, we can make the whole thing. Oh, killed in Chicago. We can get the whole thing to look like that. So anyway, really good. But just down the side of the screen there, you've got your time that you played for, which isn't very long, 2 minutes and 49. The miles that you've travelled, the American map itself, how close you are radar-wise, then the number of cups you've collected, your speed, the amount of fuel you've got, the temperature of your engine, and your lives. I mean, and it's actually in the inlay that's actually placed in the inlay. It's really nice that's what we're trying to do, and I think I have to admit that's really good. Yeah, that definitely was going to load because that came from. I remember who this came from. This particular one came from an eBay seller. I think it's called Moondog or something similar. Smoondog or something. Anyway, he makes sure that all his tapes load. So that was a guaranteed worker, wasn't it? So right. Okay. So we're finished with that tape. Let's inject that one. Well, we've already ejected it, and let's put in the WH Smiths. This should be Barbarian. Now I think I'm going to go with the loader on this. I think this is going to be the Psygnosis one. Now, there is a difference between the two. I think I said earlier, one was the Palace software. I'm sure it's Palace, not Crystal Palace. I don't know why I'm saying Crystal Palace. Palace software. But I think this is a Psygnosis one, which is more of a adventure game. It was good on the Amiga, so this is quite a late in the day game. Amiga, I think it was on the Atari ST as well. I mean, one of the things about Psygnosis is they were very good at making beautiful music, beautiful looking games, and beautiful sort of the artwork was, well, it's phenomenal. It's that beautiful sort of fantasy style artwork that you can't, I don't think you see it as much as you used to nowadays. It's that kind of, it just looks really nice. The detail is there and the levels there. When I was a kid, I used to go, no, it's the Palace one. Oh, that's alright, we can live with that. I like that. It's fine. So somebody's done that one. But when I was a kid, we used to play, we used to go to WH Smith's is one of the places. We used to go to Woolworths. And Woolworths always had a poster section where you could get A3, A2. Anyway, whatever size it was, quite large posters. They kind of covered a big chunk of a wall, you know. But they were in like a folding sort of rack, so you could look through them and then you could see what they looked like. So you could fold it out, and there was the rack, you know. They're sort of like pages in a book, but like really massive. So you could, you know, and they would have each poster in it, and then you could choose it out. You know, they had a number in the top corner, and then it would be on the bottom. You'd choose it from like a rack where it said a number. So if you could, number one, oh look, number one, and there's my poster. And they used to have a lot of fantasy sort of pictures there. They used to have a lot of that kind of artwork, you know, the fantasy scene. I mean, I remember having a one with a sort of a gigantic sort of plateau sat on top of a huge rocky face, with sort of waterfalls pouring down one side, and there was little village details and all kinds of stuff there, and there was dragons flying around and all kinds of stuff, and it was just really cool. It looked really cool, and that's stopped loading. Taz, stopped loading. I think we need to go with the old 48K actually, to be fair. So we'll give that a rewind and we'll give that a 48K. But yeah, so we used to have those kind of things, and they were really kind of cool. And that Psygnosis kind of that way for me. That sort of graphical sort of beauty of the sort of the designs and the work. I do. It's a shame it's not a physical release, and however, I haven't checked, and I'd love to see it on the Switch as well, because I think it was a game that would fit nicely with the Switch. I'd like to see it. It's Shadow of the Beast, because that is absolutely the remake. Does it serious justice. You can play it as the original version mode. It's like unlockable. There's no DLC in it, and it's more an indie game than it is anything else. But it is absolutely stunning. It really is. I would recommend it if you love that design, that art of Psygnosis. Somebody's made it again, and they've made it right, and it looks right, and it feels right, and it plays right, and it's beautiful. So yeah, that's one of the things I do miss. Oh, it's not happy, is it? It's not a happy bunny. It's not a happy bunny. Well, that's definitely not going to load like that, is it? So let's just stop that now and save some time, okay? You just behave yourself. We get one more try, and then we're pulling out the big guns. We're going to get the PlayZX on there. I don't think I definitely don't have the original version of Barbarian, but I do have the Kicks version of it. I've definitely got that. I just wonder if it's within reach, because we might get that out and put that one on. I don't think I've actually loaded it from there. I've definitely loaded this before from somewhere, but I don't think it was from that. Hang on a second. Let's see if I can see it over here. I don't know where it is. I'm having a good look. I'm having a poke around. Barbarian. The Ultimate Warrior. That's the one. I have got it. It's got a picture of, if you ever watched the years ago, there was a program, was it ITV? I think it was. ITV, there used to be a program called Gladiators, and what Gladiators did is kind of pit the was it? I think it was like people who were like went to the gym a lot. I know that's not very descriptive, is it? Went to the gym a lot and thought they were kind of hard, so they they went on this TV show and were pit against these other people who went to the gym who were sort of semi-celebrities. Well, on the front cover of Barbarian, that semi-celebrity is actually is a guy, one of the gladiators called Wolf. Now I have no idea what his real name was. He's like a billion years old when they started the gladiators thing. Anyway, he was like, I don't know. He was probably the oldest gladiator, and he sort of growled and made wolfy things. Rawr. I don't know. Oh, maybe I don't know. But he was on the front cover anyway, and so was a page 3 model, or she was something else. She was one of those glamour models or something like that. I was out of the second one. Maybe that was the second one when she was draped around him. But anyway, he was the image of the barbarian. I would have preferred a much better front cover than that, if I'm brutally honest, because he didn't do the game justice. I didn't want to play it because Wolf was on the front. It was huge, sweaty man with bulging muscles. Yeah, that really makes me want to play this game. Well, I'm carrying a broadsword. Yeah, broadsword, just a gigantic broadsword. Yeah, no, that was not a game that was in my book was going to be one that I wanted to learn. Oh, what is going on? Doesn't like this at all. Right, okay, rewind. Here we go. We'll go on my kicks one. I have no idea of swords though. Really don't. It is rewound, which is a good sign. Rewound is a good sign, so we'll go with that one. Right, I've rewound that the wrong way. I shouldn't have done that. Right, let's put that in. Let's put this tape in, and let's reboot that. It smells funny. I'm gonna just say that wherever it's been, whoever had it before me, smells funny. It smells not quite musty, but something. It smells funny. There's like a perfume smell there too. I don't know. Yeah. It's the joy of buying things off eBay, isn't it? You never know if it's gonna smell of dog wee or attics or whoever, or smokers. You get smokers. You get quite a lot of smokers, and when you get smokers ones, they're not necessarily the nicest. I'm just going to rewind this tape now because I stupidly while that's doing that, I've got the other tape player out and get that rewound. There we go. It's rewinding away. So, this isn't very good. My tape doesn't look like it's going to work. I wonder when I loaded it from. Maybe it was an older tape. I think these games are definitely featured on What's on the Tape before. Whatever tape it was did actually work. Give it another try. We'll see what happens. Everything's running. There's tapes going everywhere. There's sounds going everywhere. There's things running. Oh, there we go. Thank you. This tape probably that's in the drive now probably hasn't been played since way back when. It's the colour's a bit faded on the cover of it. It's the Kicks Legend range. I don't know how many games were in that actually, to be honest with you. The Kicks Legend range. It's the old. Do you know what? If you could turn Conan the Barbarian, the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie into a game, this would probably be it, because it's the evil sorcerer Drax desires the princess. Can't see it. Marina has sworn to wreak unspeakable doom on the people of the Jeweled City unless they deliver her to him. So basically they deliver it to him, and it's always a sorcerer, and you get to fight your way through. From a forgotten wasteland in the north comes an unknown barbarian, mighty warrior wielding a broadsword with deadly skill to vanquish the forces of darkness and free the princess. Yeah, I mean, you do of course realise once he's freed the princess, she's been freed to his, a barbarian's desires, which I'm quite sure is probably no worse than the sorcerer at the end of the day. Riches and glory with the sorcerer, or I don't know, a nice cave with some furs with the barbarian? No, I don't know. I don't know if she's got a choice in this matter, but I question whether or not she would actually actively choose the bar. She might like his bulging muscles or whatever else, but it's kind of like rich dude, magic powers, huge castle, and you know, magical whatever else it is, or huge dude, bulging muscles, probably out of work, with an alcohol and womanizing problem. I don't know. It's a tough one, really. As I say, I don't think she has much of a choice, because I guess when you finish the game, you use the barbarian, you take your prize. I like the way we're rescuing the princess. You know, really, what you're really doing is taking her from the sorcerer. And nobody seems to have asked her in this whole process. You know, it's like. You know, do you want all these dudes coming after you with their bulging muscles, or do you quite happy with the guy in his late 90s who's about to pop his clogs and leave you a huge city and thing with him? Don't know. Anyway, I've just ruined the entire plot of Barbarian for everybody now. You're all thinking about it, and you never thought about it previously. It never crossed your mind previously that this actually might be a bad thing for the princess, but anyway. I love doing that. Anyway, so Geek's version of Barbarian. Now, I'm sure this had another name on... Did it come out... Oh, I don't think it was the Apple II. There was a version of something. But there's another name for this. I'm sure it's Death something or other. I'm sure somebody will comment on it in the box below. And it was either the PC version or something else. And there was definitely a different name on it. Now, I have played this on my channel. I think I definitely played it. I don't know whether I played it on the Vega as well, actually, just the hell of it. But I definitely played it on my channel, and I played it on the Amstrad version. And the Amstrad version was really nice. I was quite surprised how nice that looked as well, actually. A little bit... Was it sluggish? No, I don't think it was, actually. No, I think it really played quite well, actually, the Amstrad version of it. Did like the Amstrad version. It's a good game. This is one of these... There's one of these games that I've always enjoyed. I always enjoyed Barbarian. I always liked the... It kind of needs a remake, but not a remake. I don't know where you'd be with it nowadays. The character, the Barbarian himself, needs to turn up in something else. I think that's what it is. You know, Capcom need to put him into their next Street Fighter game or something similar as an extra character, but obviously beefed up a bit with his broadsword and all that kind of stuff. Actually, I don't know. It just feels like the swordplay here have disappeared a bit. I mean, with the PlayStation 1, there was a game called Bushido Blade. I remember Bushido Blade. Bushido Blade was one of those great games. There was a number of games like this. Bushido Blade, though, was a one cut kill kind of thing. And it required some skill, because you basically you must have seen it in these old sort of style Japanese movies where you kind of do that one cut kill, and it's just really it's quite good. It's really good. It's that sort of instant death sort of thing, and Bushido Blade was very much like that. And then one of the levels is a bamboo field, and when you go through it and you do that slice, and a bamboo tree is split and splits and falls, and your enemy passes as well, and you've literally cut them in half or sliced off the head, and it's that instant kill. It's brilliant. It was a lot of fun, especially 2-player with a friend. But anyway, let's play this game. Keyboard, I think it's Q8, OP, and M. Oh look, it says define space, up, down, left, right, pause, G to quit for the fun of it. Okay, start game. And so there's the evil. Mind you, to be fair, he's not an attractive. He's not an attractive fella. So I'll let the princess off this time round. There's a lot of rolling goes on in this game when you're doing things. I'm trying to get... There's a special move there. You could lop their head off. And I'm trying to do it at the moment. Your health's at the top of the screen. You've got a little snake that's sort of representative of where your health is at this point in time. Yeah. So you got health circles at the top. I want to kill him. If you can do one hit kills in this as well, if you get it right, you can give him a one hit kill. That's it. I want to take your head off. Oh, it's not going to happen. I want... Killed him, I think. Yeah, kicked him over, and a little goblin turns and drags him. The best bit is when the little goblin's got there's the princess up there. She's actually watching. You know, she doesn't seem that overly fussed, really. This is what worries me about. What worries about her. I don't think she actually expects anybody to win. She kind of, you know, she's like intently watching. I mean, maybe she's cheering, you know, sort of cheering you on, going, you know, come on, win, I need to be rescued. Pushing the buttons and different directions in the fire gives you the different moves. That's how I'm doing all of the little sort of kicks and the punches here as we go along. Oh, boom! Oh, I got the swinging one in, but I didn't take his head off. I love taking their heads off. Oh, he's going to get me. Oh, he's got me. I'm down. Right, we're going to try for a head lop off with the next level. It's like a little executioner there. She doesn't seem overly fussed either. You know, it's like, oh, he's died. Never mind. Oh well, never mind. He's cool. You know, he's dead. Never mind. I'm going to try and lop his head off. It will happen. Right. Head lop. Right. Oh, come on. We're going to get this head. Can't kind of encourage him to stand in the right place. What graphics, though? I mean, look at this. These are beautiful graphics, and the gameplay is fast. It's not slow at all. I feel like I'm fully in control of it. There it is. There's the head. Yeah, I'm fully in control of the whole thing. Don't feel like it's anywhere slow. So excited there. I'm getting myself a cough by shouting so loudly. Oh, I don't know how many matches there were, rounds there were. I never got that far in it, if I remember rightly. There's a few different levels. I remember that. I don't know if they loop around on each other. But it's really well done. I mean, you've got to, you know, we used to put this on. We used to play this as, as kids, you know, sort of. We used to play against each other. We really liked it. It was good fun. It was a lot of fun, in fact. Oh, head off again. It's just losing there, and then just took his head clean off. Love that. Yeah, it seems to be looping around on these two levels. I'm sure there are some other ones later in the game, but I can't remember what they are. Or when they are. Me just trying to get a head chops now. Yeah, you can defend as well, but I don't think I've ever seen anybody ever defend like that. See, it's like a defensive moves, but we never... Oh, there's a headbutt. I forgot about the headbutt. Yeah, there's a headbutt. Oh, love it! Forgot all about all these lovely moves. There's a whole list in the cassette inlay of the moves. Oh, he's got me, and I'm down. That's really good. I enjoyed that one. That was worth playing. Actually, it really was. I think we definitely revisit again for just for me to play. Actually, to be honest with you, rather than you. Right. Okay. Part 2. So this must be Barbarian Part 2 of the whole thing. I can't remember the. Let's give the loader on this one, because I think if it is Part 2, that's a big one, rather than the Part 1. So we've had a mishmash here. Oh, hang on. Wait for it. Wait for it. I said we haven't had one of these for a while, and we haven't. Somebody's recorded the music. That's kind of cool. I don't know if that was part of the tape or whatever else it was, but they'd kind of cool recording that on there. Let's see if there's a load for it. Somebody gave us a little bit of a tune at the beginning of it all. Barb 2. Or Barbed 2. That's just as Barb. Could just be number 1 again. Maybe. maybe it doesn't load properly. Don't know. Can't remember. I'm sure Barbarian 2 is kind of the one where you go between rooms and fight weird creatures rather than just straight sort of, sort of executioner style dudes that you're fighting on the levels there. Don't know. Can't remember. Yeah, sort of. I definitely can't remember very well. I'm sure there was something about it. Oh, it's just the number 1 again. Oh. Well, we're not going to load number 1 again, so we're going to move on, I think. Well, actually, no. What we'll do. So we'll stop that, and I have number 2, and let's hopefully it loads from my tape. So we'll get my number 2. We'll just do that. So rewind that, and we'll get number 2 from the shelf because it's not too far away. We've already started digging through the shelves today, so let's dig a bit further. Hang on a second. Right. Okay. I'm just going to go find it. Barbarian 2. Right there. So another Kicks one, so it's a single duel. No, it doesn't have. It just has Wolf with an axe this time round. It's all glistening with sweat. It's not very nice. I don't think if I were back in the day, if I'd picked that up, I don't think I'd have been that impressed. It must have been number 1 then. That was the young lady on the front cover of it with him. Back in the day, if I'd picked that up, I'd have been quite. I think I'd been quite disappointed. Run. Turn around. Walk backwards. Walk forwards. When space bar is pressed, it does this. Oh my god, the instructions are massive. Like huge. Huge instructions. It's the Dungeon of Drac. What have we done this time round? Oh, you can choose to be either the Barbarian or it's a 48k version. No 48k version. It must be the 128 on the other side. Load R-tape error. Rewind. We're not doing the 48k version. Not if we got the 128k version. Hopefully it's on here. Right. But you can choose to be the princess this time round. Or we'll be the princess, I think, this time round. What are we trying to do, though? I'm trying to work out what the story is here. Let's see what the story is. Monsters, caverns, levels, objective. I don't know. Well, I'm going to assume that the aim of the game is to marry the sorcerer Drax after discovering that either living with the barbarian or princess being not is the ultimate warrior. So I defeat the warriors of Drac, thus release. Oh, she's under some kind of spell this time round. Oh god. So she's got to be saved from his spell, but she can save herself this time round. So that's a little bit more progressive for a change. That should be side 2. It looks like a large load, so you brace yourself, sit back, get a coffee, take a second. To be fair, the cover's not brilliant. I'm looking at the cover here, and there's not a lot of. We might get some music actually though. It's a 128k version. That'd be nice. There really seems to be a lot of buttons, and a lot of things to do, And there are... There doesn't seem to be a lot of attack keys though, because there's only an overhead chop or running jump when running, a low chop, a flying neck chop, and a kick. So they've ditched all of those modes so that we can add an element of exploration to the whole thing, which seems a bit sad, really, because I think the first Barbarian, it kind of stuck its flag in the ground and went, I'm gonna beat him up. Now, I don't know what they could have done with a second one in the sense of what else they could have added, but I think it had stuck itself in the ground there and sort of said that. Difficult to add, I guess. Maybe they ran out of space. I don't know. It's a bit of an odd one. I know that on the 48K version of this, wow, 9 minutes and 45 seconds. Ooh. I should go get myself a coffee, considering how long that's going to take. Right, anyway, but... Wow. Woo. We might have a pause, because that's a long load of that one. I don't normally do this, but I'm not sure that I can actually put you through 9 minutes and 21 seconds of me talking, because that's a long load. In fact, I might actually go get that cup of coffee. So we'll come back to this. We will be back when we get to about 2 minutes or something like that. All right, 1 minute maybe. So see you in a second. Right, we're back. I'm pleased you didn't have to listen to me for the last several 10 or 15 minutes. Anyway, maybe not that long. It was 9 minutes 45 seconds. I think this is probably the longest game I've ever loaded. Possibly Grisel wasn't far off, was it? Grisel was 8 minutes and 30 seconds. We rather enjoyed that actually, so that's all right. So Barbarian 2. I've got myself a cup of coffee. I hope you got yourself one. I know you've had to pause it, but I watched it while it carried on. Alright. Anyway, yeah. I think I've played this. I think I played the 48K version. I don't know why it was 48K. I think, was it either loaded it or it was because I can't remember. Just can't remember why I did the 48K version. But anyway, we're on the 128K version. I am hoping for massively good things like music. The whole thing loaded at once, so all the levels in there. And basically just generally a better cohesive experience. That would be lovely. That would be lovely. And maybe we can actually kill some monsters as well. That would be nice too. But there aren't that many moves. I was looking at that little inlay there. There wasn't as many moves as I thought there'd be actually. Thought there'd be a few more on the old inlay. I still don't like looking at Wolf all sweaty and greasy. Somebody had to grease him up, you know. I doubt he greased himself up as a megastar like he was at the time. Somebody had to come along and rub that orange tattoo, that orange tan on him, and then rub his gigantic pectorals. I always wonder if that hurts when you jog, when you've got muscles that big. Probably does. I don't know. Okay, we've loaded. I am absolutely delighted. Okay, so wow. Oh, wow. I was actually expecting that to fail. I'm going to be a princess though. So I'm 5. I'm a princess. And I'm going to start. And we have got music. And now we've got, that's run. No, you better chop. I'm going to go into that mode. That's it. We've got chop. That's her kicking this monkey thing in the face. See, it's not quite as good. It's just not quite as fun. That's a spinning attack with the spacebar. You hold the spacebar. We can do an overhead chop. There we go. Lower chop. Monkey, monkey, monkey. You see, as the Draxus over the other side. There's his strength there. And it's just not. It just doesn't feel satisfying. Even the fact that it's lacking the little spots on the screen to sort of, you know, when you strike the creature. So there's a button there to turn around, and that's run. Oh, stop with your... And it feels more like timing than it does. And there's a way to jump that as well. I've got to do that in a second. Right, okay. Has it run? That's it. And spacebar. Oh, there's another creature and I've died. Well, I've not got very far there, have I? Oh no, hang on. It's there. Let's smack the thing in the... It's like a little egg with a tongue. I don't know what there's a shield at the bottom. I'm not sure what that's for. Lives are at the top of the screen. Oh god, and I've got to jump over that. Just jump it. No. We're never going to get out of the first room here, I don't think. It's just terrible. On the 48k version, you only get the choice of choosing to be one or the other. So they basically doesn't even have room for the sprites. So there's a part where it loads to, and it actually asks you which character you wish to be, and that's you're kind of stuck after that. I don't think it has music either. Right. I have run through into this next room. We made it to the next room. We fell in a pit. Oh dear. Okay. Oh look, it's a huge dinosaur. It's just bit my entire head off in a single bite. Get off my head. This is naff. I mean, it's not. I mean, I appreciate the level of detail for the graphics, but that's just horrible. I don't even know how I'm guiding myself through the dungeon here. It's really annoying. I mean, I appreciate, say, the bigger characters. I think somebody wanted to go a lot further than they did. Let's just run this way. Keeping on running. I'm just going to keep running. There's a little... Ah, right. It seems the easiest way to kill them, by the way, is just to chop downwards. It doesn't seem... You can keep your distance from them. They don't seem to do an awful lot. Oh, look, here, monkey boy. Come on, monkey boy. If you time it right, I think you can probably keep him away. Yeah, you can, look. So he can never get to you if you can time that chop right. Not that I am timing it right, but if I did time it right, monkey creature there would never get to me, so on we go. I don't know how I'm following the... Oh, right. There must be a way to enter these things then. Oh no. My head off again. Oh. No, I don't feel like we're missing anything with this one. I'm going to lose our head again as well at this rate. Oh, come on. I think we got it. Oh. There's just creatures just keep coming and coming and coming, and it's not even, doesn't feel even random in any way. It doesn't feel like, you know, well, not random, but you know, it's hard to describe. But it doesn't feel organic in the way it does it. Was there a bit of music there? There was it's completely gone. There's nothing very exciting. Yeah. That was a long 9 minutes to get to something that wasn't overly brilliant. Anyway, right, we're on to our cover tape now. Let's give it a whirl. So we've got our cover tape. It's actually rewound on the Hotshot demo. So we'll go with that first. So we'll go with Hotshot demo. I quite like this. I've got this somewhere. I have to say it's a double case thing. It's kind of a bat and ball with little men who can shoot the ball over kind of a net, if I remember rightly. I may be completely wrong, but I remember quite enjoying it at the time. So in fact, I went out and bought a copy recently when I found one that was available. And I was like, yeah, I've got to have Hot Shot. Add that to my collection. It's a bit like I've got a game called Skate War, which I found a copy of recently, and I really like Skate War. Skateball, I think, is the original title for it, and it became Skate War when it became a Codemasters game. And I kind of liked it. It did, but when replaying it, didn't hold up quite as well as I remember it playing it. I used to really enjoy it. I think my reaction time has significantly reduced, which is probably why I don't enjoy it so much, because it's quite a fast game. It's it's a bit like, I think it's a bit like playing Speedball as well. Speedball, I think my reaction time has reduced significantly on that, so I'm not as Speedball 2. This is specifically, and I just don't enjoy it quite as much as I used to enjoy it. So. Oh, and I've got to get a loading screen. I was half expecting a loading screen from that. We're just getting demo data, or demo code as it says down the screen. It's a fairly short tape, so we shouldn't be too far through. Got a couple more episodes to go, volumes to go before I take a short break. And we'll come back fighting, swinging again as we start into the Christmas period. I need to find a Christmas tape, don't I? Somebody needs to send me a tape that they don't know what's on it with Christmas stuff in it. That'd be hilarious. Let's see whether or not we've got anything like that. There's only a limited number of Christmas games. However, there's been a few created recently, so that's not so bad. But there's only a limited number, realistically, unless they've been created specifically for Christmas. Oh, I'm a bit disappointed we haven't got a loading screen. I actually think at the time, this is the reason why I actually bought Hot Shot, because I think I actually played this demo, and I was quite. I was the kid who used to play the games that everybody else didn't like. I think I was, and I don't think anybody else liked Hot Shot, but bar me. I don't know, certainly, and I don't think I could get anybody ever to play 2-player with me, which is a bit of a shame. Probably did load it a few times, but never managed to force strong arm them into that process of actually playing it with me. But never mind. Loading. Got coffee again. Love coffee. If you listen to this on a regular basis, you'll realise I do like coffee. I got a coffee question related question. I'd like to see comments below about this. Cappuccino, chocolate or no chocolate? Now, I find this a really interesting thing because I think cappuccino without chocolate is just stupid. I genuinely think it's just stupid not to have it without it. Or it'd be a good idea to have a sneak preview of the whole game, the games industry is talking about. The game is called Hot Shot. Right. I'm playing the whole version for hours on end. All of them wanted to carry on playing. Oh, wow. This game has to be good. We think Hot Shot is a blockbuster. And we all wish you could sample the whole game on the lower levels to see how good the game really is. Anyway, so it's a small piece of the action from Hot Shots before you decide. Right, press fire now. I don't know what my fire key is. Oh, it's just going to do it itself. Oh, it's going to play itself. Oh no, I've got it. I've got my name in. I'm that one called there. Right, so yeah, you see, it's like a ball breaking game. What's my left and right? Oh damn! That's it. Am I blowing it? There's a blow and there's a suck. It's like vacuum cleaner wall breaker. I can't think of any other way of describing it. He's died again. Right, that's me. I rather liked it. I know it's a little bit sort of corny, in its concept, but I think it's quite a good game because it's basically it's about sort of using it, clearing the level, and destroying the computers at the same time. It doesn't angle though the thing. You have to kind of swing left and right with the ball to pick it up. I know it's a bit weird, but I kind of like it. I think I'm strange. Oh, I think he can affect the way that the thing blows by putting his on the suck mode at the same time, so it kind of affects the gravity on it. Because it's kind of coming back to me, because I'm kind of on the suck element of it when you push the button to suck. I know this is really weird, isn't it? Oh yeah. He's got his thing. Oh God. Time's running out. He's doing me a favour there. He's clearing out my side of the level. Breakout side of the level. I will have to get the full version of this out and try that out again, because it's quite a weird. I'm doing well here. Time out. I think I win though. No, we both failed. Alright, we both failed to clear the level. I can't remember much more than that about it, realistically. It's a weird game. I think I'm going to have to bet practice in it before I actually come back to it. Right, we are on the first side of the tape. Now, this has Brat Attack by Colin Swinburne. As I say, he was responsible for the Joe Blade games. So I'm expecting fairly decent quality graphics. Probably a reasonable soundtrack. And probably reasonable gameplay as well. So kind of the whole shooting match, as they say, the whole thing. We're going to get the whole lot. You can't go wrong with this one, I'm sure. I don't know if this was an exclusive. It feels like it could have been. I don't remember seeing Brat Attack before. This is the days when they started to get exclusives of their own, didn't they? They kind of, because we got good old Banzai Bear on the front of it there, or Kamikaze Bear. Banzai, Kamikaze. I always get that wrong. Was it Kamikaze Bear? Banzai Bear? Don't know. Right, okay. Whichever one he was, put in the comments below. He was on kind of getting his own games by then, so I'm a little bit excited about this. We might actually be getting something interesting. Not a game I recognise the title of beyond this cover tape. That's a Sinclair Megatape, yeah, Megatape 5. Players. Could be exclusive, you know. 1988. Good old Jabba done the loading screen. It's not a very exciting loading screen, it's not an awful lot to see. It's what made me start buying certain certain magazines. You'd be getting your cover tape fix. So yeah, it's clearly not a sort of official title, because I don't think anybody would let you get away with printing the words Bytes Brat Code across the middle of the picture. They would have changed the colour of the ink, and they would have tried to stash that away underneath that. Maybe that's just a bit of an anomaly of the load part, because effectively Spectrum games kind of came in 3 parts. First part was the program that loaded. There is an exception to the rule, but we'll get to that in a minute. First part was the part that loaded, which was the program, and that usually had a little bit of code in it that would then load the screen, the loading screen, which we've got there, and then the main machine code for the game, and then obviously launch it. So that was the first little program. So that first program did that. You then got obviously the picture itself, which is then displayed, and then followed by the code itself. Now, some people managed to put that all in the same thing and put it all together and load it all at the same time by adjusting the loader. That's fine, but by default, the average, the normal, most of the time way of doing it was load program at the beginning, load screen, load the code for the game itself. Done. The exception to the rule is where you got games that used, instead of using load dit as I call it, or load speech mark, you got load dit code or load speech mark code, and those ones would just load the code straight in, so straight into the machine code from the beginning, so it would load that straight into memory to run. So those are the exception to the rule. And they would often, because of the fact of loading a bit of machine code in, that would then control the loader for whatever else would happen. So i.e. there might be a loading screen and then the code itself being loaded in. Well, but that's the general gist of it. And one of the things that did happen though when you had loaded the screen and you did load for the machine code like we've done here, is that line would appear somewhere, and the clever way to deal with it was to move it to a certain location, have that line shoot across, and then it wouldn't disrupt the picture while you loaded. You did see it on quite a few things, but that was one of the key manoeuvres that you would do to try and make sure that this, while the person was looking at it, this loading screen was there. So there we go. My little bit of coding for the day. Aren't you excited by that? Wasn't worth the wait. But it was, it's kind of general gist for Spectrum games, and that's how they go. So I mean, if you talk about your red and your cyan lines, that's kind of the searching kind of thing, and then the code itself is the other part. Is it searching? No, searching. Kind of synchronizing almost, isn't it? It's to synchronize that there's going to be code afterwards. So and the code is basically this blue and yellow lines going backwards and forwards. It's quite literally just listening to the tape and reading the ones and zeros from that tape. Alright. The very silly plot. Breathe life into your Spectrum with the following titles from players. Alright, Joe Blades, Gallup chart #1, Thing. Yeah, cool. Right. Nice music. Choose the controls. Let's go with 3 for keyboard. And the moves are through the door, OP, space. That's fine, I like those. Nice. Right, let's find the plot out then. Rival Computer Magazine has been very sneaky. They have reduced the key members of the Sinclair user into reduced the key members of the Sinclair user team into babies, and the sultry Tamara Howard has escaped this. Oh right, the sultry Tamara Howard has escaped this dastardly plot. You are now about to embark on a rescue mission. All right, so we're Tamara. Oh, there we are. There's Tamara. One foot in the grave ain't just smart. Oh, brain cells left. So we've got to jump. Oh God, can't keep touching them. I'm guessing we're trying to find the babies. And we knock them out by jumping into their faces. There's a dummy. Okay, good hunting. So it allows us to get a baby, I'm guessing, if we get a dummy. We don't let him punch us, but we can knock him out by jumping into him. There's the thing. So weird. These games were weird. Tell you what, Tamara really had 80s hair, didn't she? How big it is. She's even got a sweatband on. She sits down when she does that though. That's really weird. Okay, we're looking for a baby. I'm losing lots of brain cells here. Oh, damn. Yeah, I know. We're one foot in the grave. I've just landed on it again. These are so weird, these games. So I've got a dummy for a baby. You can smash him in the face with your knees. There's a fair amount of level design gone into it. Not found a baby yet. Oh, got a fist. Sock it to me, baby. Fist bonus 100. I'm guessing that improves my ability to... Oh, come on! Oh, dear. My ability to jump is just ridiculous. Oh, God, I've just been punched. Right. I haven't found anything yet. I haven't found a baby yet or anything. If you read in the top of the screen, it's basically a massive advert for all of their games. Literally an advert for all of their games. Oh. I think that's me just going in circles now. Yeah, I think I am. Oh, that's it, we're dead. 0 brain cells left. No brain cells left, game terminated. Yeah, that was really weird, wasn't it? I don't know about you, but I thought that was really weird. No idea how that one plays, really. I guess we just had to find the babies. I mean, the original Joe Blade was basically you searched around and then you found the babies, and that was not the babies, the hostages, and it was just kind of a search place. Pretty much all there was to it. Right, we're just loading the last thing that's on this tape, which is the pokes, just for the hell of it, because I want to see what pokes are on here and see what actual what advantages it would give you on the games that you played. Loading pokes data, or data for pokes. These are usually quite quick loaders. Main program code. I always remember them as something else. I think I've said this before in previous videos. Though I always felt that they were, they were kind of a showcase for the coders at the time. But I think that was nostalgia talking, because they're not really that. There's a little bit of clever graphics sometimes, but not an awful lot. Mainly it's just a set of poke codes instead of being something more exciting than that. So they're not quite not quite what I remember, if that makes sense. Poke MC, poke machine code. Yeah, I think they just did a main code thing, and then they obviously have loading the pokes in that are going to go into that database. So they've created a program that was quite clever, really, if you think about it. They created a little database program that they could then drop pokes into whichever week it was that was appropriate. And the idea is quite simple. It means you don't have to type them in or anything else. It is you put this in, you choose the poke, and it crashes like that. But you choose the poke, and then you go from there and choose whatever you want it is. Anyway, I think it's trying to tell me something, because it's just rebooted or just started itself back up again, or cycled the power. Anyway, it's trying to tell me it's time to end this video. So I've been your host, Real Generic Demon. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe. There are many more What's on the Tapes series to watch, and seasons to watch, and volumes to watch. Please feel free to have a little look at those. Anyway, I'll see you soon. Bye bye bye.